Hello everyone. I gave an interview in a company called Hexpress Healthcare, and the company location is Vadodara, Gujarat, and the interview date was the October 28, 2025. So this was the first round of the interview, and this was the telephonic. So they asked me date function in PHP. So I said date. Okay, so I said echo date, and in the bracket double comma y hyphen m hyphen d. Okay, and if we want to do it like the date, month, and year, then simply we can use the echo date function, and inside the bracket double comma d hyphen m hyphen y. Okay, and if you want to show date as well as the time, so we can use the echo date function in the bracket double inverted comma y hyphen m hyphen d space capital H colon I small I colon s small s, and then double inverted comma close. So it will show the uh, year, month, date, and also it will show the time. Second question, they asked me the count function in PHP. So for example, I have a variable result equal to in square bracket ABC, and then echo count dollar result. So the count function will show the how many elements are there. So it will return 3. So it is used to count the elements after data comes to PHP. Also they asked me count function in MySQL. So count function in MySQL used to count rows directly in the database. So select count star from users. So it is faster, no need to fetch all records, and best for the large table. So the bottom line is small count in PHP count, counts array elements after fetching data, whereas count in MySQL counts rows directly in the database, and it is more efficient. So in database, generally we use the capital count, and in PHP array small count. Third question, they ask me the indexing. So generally we have six type of index. So first of all, the index. An index in MySQL is a database structure that improves the speed of data retrieval operations on a table at the cost of the additional storage and maintenance overhead. It works similarly to the index of a book, allowing MySQL to find rows much faster without scanning the entire table. So the type of index in MySQL. So first is the primary key index, unique identifier for each row. So automatically created when you define a primary key. So the query is create table users, and in the bracket id int primary key name where and then bracket close. Second is the unique index. Ensures all values in column are unique. So create unique index idx email on user's email. Third is the regular non-unique index. Speeds of queries for column with duplicate allow values. So create index idx name on user's name. Fourth is a full text index. For full text searches in large text field, char varchar text only support on INNODB or MyISAM. Create full text index IDX description on articles descriptions. Fifth is the composite index. Index based on multiple columns. So create index IDX name email on users name email. Sixth is the spatial index. So used for the geospatial data. So how to use indexes in MySQL? So create an index like the create index IDX column on table name column name. How do you drop an index? Drop index IDX column on table name. If you want to view existing indexes, show index from table name. So benefits for using index: faster data retrieval. Second, improve performance of select, join and where queries. So limitations of index: slower insert, update and delete operations, increased storage requirement. So how many index can be built if we have 16 fields? So general limit for MySQL, that is INODB, maximum number of indexes per table is 64. Maximum number of columns in composite index is 16 columns, and the maximum key length is 3072 bytes for INODB. So index scenario for 16 fields. Given 16 field, the theoretical combinations are: single column index, you can create 16 unique single column index. Composite index, you can combine up to 16 columns in each index but are still limited to 64 total index. Example index combination: single column indexes. Create index IDX field 1 on table 1 field 1. Create index IDX field 2 on table name field 2. So this gives 16 simple indexes. So composite index example: create index IDX composite on table name field 1 field 2. Create index IDX composite 2 on table name field 3 field 4. So here how to create a table with the 16 field. Add indexes in MySQL. So step 1, create the tables. So create table, index table, field 1 int, field 2 int, 3 varchar 5 text, 6 date and up to 16 blob. Step 2, create 16 single column. Create index IDX field 1 on example table field 1. Create index IDX field 2 on example table field 2 and up to create index IDX field 16 on example table field 16. So blob require length. Another question they ask me: add two arrays. So first is a merging array. Let us suppose you have one array 1 2 3 4 5, another array 6 7 8 9. So in the first array you have the 5 elements, in array 2 you have the 4 elements. Now dollar merge equal to array merge dollar array 1 comma dollar array 2 and then print r. So the output will be the array 0 equal to 1, 1 equal to 2 and up to 8 equal to 9. This is the array merge. Now second is the combined. Let us suppose you have one array 1 to 5 and array 2 is 6 to 9. So dollar combine equal to array underscore combine in the bracket dollar array 1 comma dollar array 2. So print r in the comma dollar combine and then close. So the error you will get: the keys and argument values must have the same number of elements. So issue the function array combined array 1 array 2 requires that both arrays must have the same number of elements so that it become keys and values. So combining array combined is not suitable in this case because both arrays need to have the same length and we don't have any value pairs here. So how the combined function will work: dollar array equal to 1 to 5 and dollar array 2 equal to 6 to 10. Now use dollar combine equal to array underscore combine in bracket dollar array 1 comma array 2 and then print r combined. So the output will be the first array, it will become key, and the second array it will become the values. So 1 equal to 6, 2 equal to 7 and up to 5 equal to 10. So what is the explanation? Array combined array 1 array 2 pairs elements from array 1 as keys and array 2 as values. Okay, so this was the first round and this was the telephonic round. Now the second round. This was the virtual round. So they asked me what is the difference between double comma and single comma in PHP, or in the other way we can say the single quotes and double quotes. So PHP does not treat variable inside single quotes. It shows text as it is. So for example, you have dollar name equal to Chandra, and this is inside the double comma. Now echo, and in the single comma hello dollar name, and then single inverted comma close. So the output will be hello dollar name. It won't show you the value of the variable because we are using the single inverted comma. Now if we are using the double quotes, so PHP reads variable inside, it shows their values. For example, you have the dollar name equal to Chandra, and this is inside the double inverted comma, then echo double inverted comma hello, and then dollar name, and then inverted comma close. So the output will be the hello Chandra. Now it will read the variable inside variable value. Okay, so use double comma for plain text, and if you and double comma when you read, you need variables inside the string. The second question they asked me the array function in PHP. So the array function, short, replace, search, sum, count in array. Okay. Second string function, split, explode, implode, strlen, strpos, and trim. The third question they asked me static function in object oriented programming. So in OOPS, in PHP, when you declare a static function, its scope is class level and not the object level. It belongs to the class, not the object. You can call it without creating an object. So use class double colon function name to call it. So for example, you have a class test and public static function shows, and then echo hello, and now you are calling the test double colon show. So work without object. So in short, scope is the class level. Okay, the scope of the static is the class level. Call using class name double colon method. So here we don't require dollar this here. Question number 4. The fourth question is you have to fetch color from an array. So let us suppose you have dollar array equal to, in square bracket, a equal to apple, b equal to banana, c equal to cherry, and then dollar values equal to array underscore values, and in the bracket dollar array, then print underscore r dollar values. So the output will be 0 equal to apple, 1 equal to banana, and 2 equal to cherry. So they ask me how much you will give yourself for the oops. So I said out of 10 I'll give myself 6. Question number 6, they ask me to explain keyword in MySQL. So a MySQL keyword is a reserved SQL word that has predefined meaning and is used to perform database operations. For example, include select, insert, update, delete, and where. Their keyword cannot be used as table or column names unless we use the backticks. Okay, so these are the keywords. Seventh question they ask me page reloading optimization technique. So page reloading optimization means reducing or avoiding full page reload to improve performance and user experience. This is commonly achieved using the Ajax caching and the partial page update. So only required data is refreshed instead of the entire page. So common techniques, first is the Ajax, that is the most important. Load all submit data in the background without reloading the page. So Ajax call fetch data and update only the required function. Second is the caching. Use browser or server side caching to avoid repeated data loading. For example, browser cache, query cache, and session cache. Third, pagination, that is lazy loading. Load data in chunks instead of the loading everything in at one place or everything at once. Fourth, optimization redirects. Avoid unnecessary redirects and reload loops. Question number 8, they asked me database optimization. So, database optimization is a process of improving database performance by reducing query execution time and efficient use of the resources. It mainly done using the indexing, optimized queries, proper schema design, and caching. So key techniques mention 3 4 only. Okay. So the first is the indexing, most important. Create indexes on frequently searched column to speed up select queries. So create index IDX user email on users email. Second, query optimization. Write efficient queries and avoid unnecessarily data fetching. Example, avoid select star. Second, use proper where condition. Third, use limits. Third, proper database design. Use correct data type, normalization, and constraint. Example, use int instead of varchar where possible. Second, normalize table to reduce redundancy. 4 is the caching. Store frequently used data to reduce database hits. Example, query cache, application level caching, that is Redis or Memcached. Fifth is the index and query analysis. Use explain to analyze query performance. Example, explain select star from users where email equal to test at the rate email.com. So if interview ask, have you done this? So I can say that I have optimized my SQL queries by adding indexes, rewriting slow queries, and using the pagination and caching in the PHP applications. Question number 9, they asked me .htaccess file in PHP. So .htaccess file is created an order in order to enable extra feature for that subdirectories. You can use the .htaccess file to modify various configurations and thus make changes to your website. These changes include authorization, error handling, redirects for specific URLs, user permission, etc. So, what is the .htaccess? So, .htaccess is a configuration file used on Apache web server. It allows you to control the behavior of your website or web directory without changing the main server settings. So the file is placed a specific directory in a specific directory and the rules inside apply so that directory and its subdirectory. So what can .htaccess do? Redirect URLs like sending old pages to new URLs. Second, rewrite URLs. Make URL look cleaner or friendlier. Third, set up custom error page like 404 not found pages. Fourth, control access. Password protect folders, blocks IPs. Enables or disable features like gzip compressions. Manage caching for better performance. So example, redirect old page.html to new page.html. Then redirect 301 old page.html to slash new page.html. Custom 404 error page. Error document 404 slash 404.html. Why is .htaccess helpful or useful? You can change website settings easily without needing to edit the server configuration or restart the server. It gives more control to website owners or developer or shared hosting where server access is limited. Question number 10. What is caching in PHP? Performance and reduce server load. Simple concept of cache in PHP. When a user visits a page without cache, PHP runs all code, queries DB, and generates HTML every time. With cache, PHP checks if a saved version exists and show it directly, skipping all processing. Why do why do we use cache? Speed up page loading, reduce CPU DB uses, saves hosting server cost and better user experience. So type of caching in PHP, opcode cache. So what it store? Compiled PHP code. Example, APC use opcache default in PHP 7 plus. Second type of caching is a file cache, HTML or JSON files. Example, store rendered pages data. Third, memory cache. What it store? Key values in RAM. Example, cause use Redis memcached. Fourth is the database cache. What it store? Database queries result. Example, use cache heavy SQL queries. Fifth, object cache. What it store? PHP objects or arrays. Example, use in memory caching in application. So popular PHP cache tools, opcache, built in from PHP 7 plus. APCU, shared memory cache. Redis memcached, RAM based, fast, great for large scale applications. Laravel cache uses Redis file database, etc. Symfony cache component. Okay, so best practice is the cache data that doesn't change often. Example, menus, blog posts. Use cache expiration to keep data fresh. Third, invalidate update cache when original data changes. Monitor cache size and memory usage. Page cache in coordinator 4 in controller. Public function index. Cache the page for 10 minutes. This cache page 600, that is in the seconds, and return views home. So in app config cache.php, choose the handler public dollar handler equal to file or Redis memcached. So data cache in coordinator, for example, caching database results, and dollar cache config service double colon cache. So the key equal to product list and data equal to cache get key. If data triple equal to null, not in cache, fetch from DB. So dollar data equal to dollar this product model find all. Cache save key data 300 cache for 5 minutes. So return products dollar data. So the cache driver support, you can use the file default Redis memcache. So writable cache folder for file based cache. So configure in the app config cache.php. So the clear cache, to clear the data cache, dollar cache equal to config service double colon cache. Cache delete product list and cache clean. This will clean all the cache. So to clear page cache, delete files in writable cache. Best practice, use page cache for static pages like home about. Use data cache for DB intensive logic like dashboard states. Set expiration time wisely. Clear or refresh cache when source data update. So the next question they asked me cookies versus cache versus memcache. So cookies, small data stored in the browser. Cache, temporary storage browser server. Memcached, a RAM based caching system. Cookies store user data like the login preference. Cache speed up app by avoiding repeated work. Memcache cache data or object in the RAM for speed. Cookies browser, that is client side. Cache browser server file DB. Memcache server RAM runs as an service. Cookies browser and server via headers. Cache front end browser cache or backend PHP. Memcache backend used by PHP, Python, etc. Cookies has expiry yes set per cookies. Cache yes set per item or auto evicted, and memcache yes set per item or auto evicted. Cookies size limit is 4 KB per cookie. Cache depends on storage type, MB is possible, and memcached near to 1 MB per item. Total size depends on configuration. Cookies remember user preferences. Cache page queries or views. Memcached cache DB results, session data, APIs. So use when cookies, you need to store small user data, that is login tokens language. Cache, that's a file users you want to avoid regenerating pages or requiring DB. Memcached, you need super fast server side caching, especially or large complex apps. Example, cookie, set cookie username Chandra and time plus 3600 stored in the browser. Then cache coordinator for file cache, cache equal to config server service double colon cache, cache save key data 600 stored in the file or Redis etc. Memcached coordinator enable memcached in the app config cache.php. Public handler memcached. Use it dollar cache equal to config service double colon cache dollar cache save user data user 300 store in the RAM, that is fast. So the short is the cookie equal to browser side small data, cache equal to temporarily stored data anywhere, memcached ultra fast server RAM cache for backend data. So the question number 11, database engines. So the answer is here is a simplified breakdown of the four MySQL storage engine. First database engine is INNODB. So best for the application needing transaction, data integrity and high concurrency. So the key features are supports transaction, reliable data handling, supports foreign key, relationship between tables, uses raw level locking, better performance when multiple users are accessing the data. So crash recovery to prevent data loss. Second is the ISAM, index sequential access method, best for older system with simple read heavy applications. Key features, no transaction, that is less reliable for complex operations, no foreign keys, no relationship between tables, table level locking, slower if multiple users are accessing data at the same time, obsolete and not commonly used anymore. Third is the heap, that is memory storage engine. So this is best for the temporarily fast data storage. Example for caching or intermediate operations. So the key features are in memory storage extremely fast. Data disappears when the server restarts. No persistent data is lost when the system shut down. Ideal for temporary data that doesn't need to be saved. MyISAM. So MyISAM is best for read heavy applications that don't require transactions. So the key features are no transaction, no guarantee of data consistency, table level locking slower if many user access the table at once, support full text indexing that is useful for the searching text, faster for read operations but not ideal for concurrent writes. So the summary is INNODB best for the application needing transactions and data safety. ISAM old engines, no transaction or relationship, rarely used today. Heap fast temporarily in memory storage for quick operations. MyISAM good for read heavy applications but lacks support for transaction. So this was the second round of the interview. Okay. So the company name was the Hexpress Healthcare. Company location Vadodara, Gujarat. And the interview date was the October 28, 2025. So I will share more interview question with you. Till then, bye.